The morning came softly. Sunlight, like a gentle finger, touched the small window. It painted the room with light. Little Leo slept soundly, his breathing soft, a quiet rhythm in the still room. Peace covered him like a blanket, a promise, unsaid yet present, sealed with the deepest love. David, Leo's father, entered. He moved like a shadow, quietly, carefully. His face showed the miles he'd traveled, not in distance, but in hardship. Lines etched by worry and by long, tiring hours. His eyes, though weary, held a fire, a steady, unwavering flame. He stood by Leo's small bed, looked at his sleeping son. A small hand clutched a worn teddy bear. David reached out slowly, his calloused hand, gentle now. He brushed a stray lock of hair from Leo's smooth forehead. A touch, a whisper of love, a promise silently renewed. The present faded sometimes. Memories would rise like dust motes in a sunbeam. David remembered the struggle. It was a constant companion, working not one job, but two, sometimes three. Days melted into nights. Nights bled into weary dawns. He did it all for Leo's chance at a brighter future. He drove a taxi through the dark city. The streets were lonely then. Streetlights blurred past his tired eyes. Rain would slick the roads, making the world a reflection, a shimmering, lonely place. He'd ferry strangers, listen to their fleeting stories. All the while, Leo's face, his smile, etched in his mind. Before the city stirred, before the sun even thought to rise, David was already moving. Cleaning empty office buildings. His body ached, a dull, constant throb, but he pushed through the pain, for his son. Leo was a small boy then. His eyes were bright like newly minted coins, full of questions, full of wonder. He had a spirit that soared, even in their small, humble apartment. He dreamed big dreams, the kind that light up a child's world. David watched him and smiled, his son, his hope. One evening, the rain tapped gently, like soft fingers on the window pane. Leo sat close to his father, looked up, his expression earnest. "Papa," he said, his voice small, "I want to be a doctor." He wanted to help people, to make them feel better. His small hands gestured, explaining his grand, kind plan. David listened, really listened. His heart felt like it grew, swelling with pride, with love. He saw the spark in Leo's eyes, the pure, untainted hope of a child. He pulled Leo closer, held his small shoulders. "I promise, Leo," he said, his voice thick with emotion. "You will have your chance." The day came for school. Leo stood small but straight, a new backpack on his shoulders. It seemed too big for him. A nervous smile flickered on his young face. David walked him to the school gates. A hand squeezed, a whispered word. "Be brave, my son. Learn everything you can." School was a new world, full of noise and new faces. Sometimes it was hard. Lessons could be confusing, words on a page, a jumble. There were boys who weren't kind, who teased his patched-up shoes or his quiet ways. But Leo remembered. He remembered his father's face, the tiredness in his eyes, the promise in his voice. So Leo worked hard. He read the books again, he asked the teacher questions. He did not let the mean words stick. He persevered for his dream, for his father. David's sacrifices were many. They were often unseen, like the roots of a strong tree, hidden deep but vital. His shoes grew old and worn, soles thin, leather cracked. He mended them himself, again and again. His meals were often simple. Bread, soup, just enough. Sometimes there wasn't enough, not for 2 proper meals. He would tell Leo he wasn't hungry. "I ate at work," he'd lie softly, a gentle, loving deception. Leo's school fees came first, his books, his pencils. These were the important things, the building blocks of a future David was buying, one sacrifice at a time. He wore the same faded jacket, year after year, through cold winters. He never bought new clothes for himself. No small comforts, no movies, no evenings out with friends. His only comfort was seeing Leo, seeing him learn, seeing him grow. His rest was found in those moments, when Leo shared a story from school, or a newly learned fact. His love for Leo was a fire. It burned steadily within him. It was his fuel, his reason. The years spun by, like pages turning in a book. Leo grew taller, wiser. He finished high school. He stood at the top of his class. His hard work had paid off. David watched, his heart full, a quiet pride in his eyes. His son, so dedicated, so bright. The dream was getting closer. One afternoon, a letter arrived. It was different from other mail. A thick envelope, official looking, with the crest of a big university. David held it in his hands. His breath caught in his throat. This could be it. The moment. The culmination of so much work, so much hope. His hands trembled slightly. He called Leo over. Together they opened it. The paper crinkled softly. Words jumped out. Big words. "We are pleased to inform you. Scholarship, full tuition." David read it again, and again. A full scholarship, for Leo, to study medicine. His dream, their dream. Tears welled in David's eyes. They streamed down his weathered cheeks. Not tears of sadness. Leo packed his bags. He was leaving for university. A new city awaited him, a world of new experiences. He was excited and a little scared. It was a big step. David stood by, watching. A mix of pride and a gentle ache. His son was spreading his wings, ready to fly toward his dream. University life was demanding. Late nights studying, complex medical textbooks, challenging lectures and exams. But Leo never faltered. He remembered his father's sacrifice, the countless hours of work, the meals skipped, the worn-out shoes. That memory was a powerful force. He carried his father's promise. Deep in his heart, he called David every week, his voice a welcome sound. Across the miles, he shared his small victories, a good grade on an exam, an interesting patient case he'd observed. He shared his struggles too, the moments of doubt, the pressure. David listened, always listened, his voice calm, reassuring. David's heart swelled with pride. With every phone call, with every update from Leo, his son was not just studying. The day finally arrived. Graduation day, bright and sunny. A day filled with hope and with accomplishment. Leo stood tall in his cap and gown, a symbol of years of hard work, a symbol of dreams realized. He felt a wave of emotion, gratitude, joy, and a deep love. He scanned the cheering crowd. His eyes searched for one face, the most important face. And then he saw him, his father, David, standing a little straighter today, waving a small, proud wave. Tears glistened in David's eyes, eyes that had seen so much toil, now shining with pure happiness. Their eyes met, a silent understanding. Leo's name was called, Dr. Leo Maxwell. The applause was loud. He walked across the stage. His heart pounded in his chest. This was it, his dream, his father's unwavering promise, fulfilled. He received his diploma, a testament to their journey. He found David after the ceremony. No words were needed at first. He simply hugged his father. A promise. Such a simple thing, just a few words spoken, but a promise made with love. It holds a special power. It can become a guiding star, a beacon in the darkest night. It can move mountains. It can change a life. It can shape a destiny. This is the magic of a loving promise. David's promise to Leo. It was more than just words. It was a commitment, a vow etched onto his soul. It became a light for both of them, guiding Leo through his studies, sustaining David through his labor. It illuminated their path, through hardship, through sacrifice, always shining, always there. Their story is a simple one, yet it speaks volumes. It speaks of a father's boundless love, a love that knows no limits, a love that sacrifices everything. It speaks of a son's perseverance, a dream held tight, a spirit unbroken. It shows the incredible strength found in the bond between parent and child, a bond forged in love. And so, the promise was fulfilled, not just with a diploma, but with a future bright with hope. It teaches us, it reminds us,